Sup, ladies and gentlemen. Today we continue our vast menus topic. Specifically, in today's video, we will address the last of the Digimon submenus. I am talking about the main status menu, as well as about its submenus, moves management, Digivolutions, and renaming. Now, it should be noted that, aside from the status menu itself, none of the mentioned menus actually exist in the original game, at least in the form you're about to see. The original menus were only accessible in very specific situations. For instance, renaming was only possible right after catching or fusing a new Digimon, while moves management was only possible right after learning new moves. Based on the mentioned reasons, I've decided to consolidate all this functionality in one place. We will start with the basic status menu. As you can see, its base structure, for the most part, stayed the same as the original. At the same time, some new information has been added to this menu. First of all, now each Digimon has a list of elements related to the moves it can use. For example, if a fire element is in the list, that means this Digimon can use all moves that have fire affinity. And if the fire is absent from the list, then no fire moves can be used. Bear in mind that even though a move can look like it has some specific affinity like fire or ice, it can actually be classified as a move with some other affinity. For instance, it can be a non-elemental move. A great example would War Greymon and its Terra Force move. It may look like either a fire or holy move, but it's actually a non-elemental one. Exact elemental affinity of each and every learned move can be checked in a move's management menu, which will be shown a little bit later. Also, as you can see in the bottom right part of the menu, there are two additional properties that each Digimon now possesses: personality and ability. Personalities are the general traits that govern how Digimon behaves in a battle, if you let it decide what to do on itself. In other words, it's the AI type of the Digimon. Enemy Digimon also rely on this, instead of pre-programmed strategies, in order to decide what to do in battles. Personality is only changed on Digimon Fusion, and each Digimon has a choice pool of personalities to be picked from when it is created. For contrast, when catching Digimon, they will have predetermined personality, which is the one they originally had when you fought them. At the same time, the Digimon Trade Center Digimon, once obtained, will have their personality randomized, which will allow to have some interesting variations. Now, ability is like a special perk that a specific Digimon's form has, meaning it will always change as you digivolve your Digimon. For instance, Agumon has one set ability, Greymon has another one, Metal Greymon, yet another one, and so on. Abilities provide unique advantages in battle for their owners, and are meant to be game changers when you concisely build a team around them and enhance them with supplementary moves. The variety of abilities is planned to be vast. Practically each and every Digimon will get a personalized ability. For instance, the Barbed Exterior ability on Black Greymon allows him to have a passive injury status ailment counter against Digimon that are not immune to it, which are all non-machine specialty Digimon. Other future examples include guard-oriented abilities, elemental and stats bonus abilities, unique abilities like the one that allows to learn enemies' moves after battle, and so on. Okay, next up is the moves menu, which in itself is still mostly the same as in the original game, and is entered via pressing status button, which is square or X on the controller. It shows what moves Digimon is currently set as actively used at the moment, for each of the 4 move categories: attacks, counters, interrupts, and assists. The technical difference from the original game in this case is the limit on the count of moves that the Digimon can have as active at the same time. In the original Digimon World 2, there was an absolute shared 12 moves limit for each Digimon, meaning no matter what, you could only have 12 moves of any kind in any combination on one Digimon at a time. In the remake, there too are limits, but they are nowhere near as tight. Namely, moves are now limited to 16 per category, meaning you can have up to 64 moves active at the same time, 16 attacks, 16 counters, 16 interrupts, and 16 assists. Obviously, you may not need to have that many moves, but at the very least there is now a possibility for some of the move-savvy enthusiasts. Also, in this menu, by pressing Start, you can sort the moves within one category by their power and MP cost, from the most powerful to the least powerful. Notice the input guide bar which I've added to each menu, which has advanced inputs now. It should help the player learn the controls until it's memorized. Different menus have different input mappings, so it's important to pay attention to them when inspecting the menus. The original game's menus were very simplistic, so they never required any guides. But the new menus now group a lot of functionality together, so hints like this are very crucial. And now, what the original game does not have, or rather, has in a very limiting form, is the Moves Management menu. It allows to keep the list of active moves clean and organized, while also not completely forfeiting all the other moves that the Digimon knows at the moment. For instance, the Digimon may know some of the moves that it cannot use at the moment due to not being able to use moves of a specific element. Alternatively, player may simply not need any specific moves at this very moment, but may also need it later, for instance after potential evolution or fusion. In this case, any such moves can be safely transferred to the inactive moves pool, which, unlike the active moves pool, is not limited in capacity. On the other hand, if you decide you no longer need some moves, you can completely discard those in this very same menu, in which case they will appear in the discarded moves pool and will be deleted from the Digimon's moves list once you confirm the current setup. This works akin to a trash can concept in PC terminology. Basically, while you're deciding what you need or don't need, you may have a change of heart, in which case you can still undiscard any move you change your mind on. Also, if the move can't be used, it will be marked with a red color in this menu, and you will also be unable to add it to the active moves pool. After confirming the current setup, you will be back to the moves menu, now updated with and reflecting the new setup. The management is performed separately on each category, but there's one condition that they all share. You always have to have at least one single move on every single Digimon. Not one in each category, but one shared between all categories. For example, if you have at least one attack, you can have 0 counters, interrupts, or assists. Okay, back to the status menu. Another yet special menu that was originally not related to Digimon Status, but is related now, is the renamed Digimon menu. It's pretty much self-explanatory. One thing to add might be a fact that you can go between custom nicknames and default Digimon names using this menu. Finally, we can now see the most sought-after menu that everyone has been waiting for, the Digivolution menu. And boy oh boy, did I have to scramble my brain over this one. Basically, the original Digivolution menu was only accessible in Digilab and was, shall we say, extremely limited. You did not know what you would get until you tried Digivolve any Digimon. The potential evolutions were locked between very specific DP-based conditions, and so it was just a random shit show. In the remake, the DP is completely removed, so the evolution options approach had to be redone from the ground up. Additionally, Digivolution was also implemented, which added another layer of technical complexity. Because of this, you can only perform Digivolution one stage at a time, so unfortunately no warp Digivolutions are possible. Of course, you can just do several Digivolutions or Digivolutions in a chain sequence, which will have the same effect. But the main attraction of this new menu is the ability to browse any specific Digimon's Digivolutions tree, as well as see the conditions for digivolving into any specific Digimon. The conditions can be unknown if you never encounter the Digimon in the game, for instance in a battle. But as long as the conditions are met, they will always be shown, regardless of the prior encounter state. On the other hand, if the Digimon has a D-Digivolve state, then that D-Digivolution will always be accessible. When it comes to the overall design of this menu, Digimon World DS was my main inspiration, since it also has a Digivolutions tree browsing functionality and has a very similar look and feel. The Digivolution sequence menu, however, had a totally different set of inspirations. Digimon World 1, Digital Car Battle, even Digimon Adventure TV anime series, all have an influence in this case. And now you can see it for yourself. As you see, Agumon can digivolve into both Greymon and Black Greymon, but the latter's conditions are not met at the moment. Nothing that can't be fixed with a chip though. As a final note, I want to add all the shown menus work in absolutely the same way no matter where the player is currently at. Overworld, hub areas, even dungeons. You can perform all the showcased actions, including Digivolutions, in any of these areas. Hell, you can even do this with the Digimon located in the server storage. So, what do you think about this new menu? You can give your feedback in the comments. Also, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw in this video and want more of it. Finally, as usual, my Discord server link is in the channel's homepage for those who are interested in discussions on the project's progress. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good day.